Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. And we've got plenty on the programme for you today. So we have our fashion journalist and stylist Cynthia Liza Gregoire who'll be giving us a sneak peek at the trends for spring-summer 2015. And also our makeup expert will be showing us what hit the catwalks for sunny season. We'll also be watching a fitness tip from Jane Rafter on targeting shoulder muscles, and Hannah Richards will be preparing stuffed peppers. And I'll also be speaking to Moti Bernadino about the importance of inner healing and some weekly seminars that have been helping many women heal from within. But the show wouldn't be the same without our lovely Excel. Hello, Excel.
Oh, Grace, you do know how to say the loveliest
I
things.
know.
Oh, thank you.
Been beating her up during the
I know.
just before the show, haven't we?
She beats me and then she compliments me. Yeah.
So how are you? Are you doing well? Ready for some news?
Yes, I am. I think I had to start off with some Valentine's Day loveliness, I have to say. We all know
Valentine's Day's gone.
I know it's gone, but I had to mention this because one of my favorite actors got married on that day because it fell on a Saturday, didn't it? And his name is Mr. Cumberbatch, who is the star of Sherlock. Took his fiancée, Sophie Hunter, down the aisle on Valentine's Day. And he actually had a very private ceremony. He literally sent people invites via email.
Oh.
How's that for spontaneity? And
see, most people would be called cheap if they did that.
Well, exactly. But of course, it certainly wasn't, because he sent an email to his few nearest and dearest people. And where is it? And also he wanted to do it before, because Sophie is currently pregnant. And he wanted to do it before she gave birth, which is also going to be this year. And there's also the Academy Awards as well soon. So he just kind of wanted to get that out of the way and concentrate on social calendar, I suppose. But yeah, he said he shocked a few people, but they sent out an invitation just in time, and it was absolutely gorgeous. A gorgeous celebration as well. They had it on the Isle of Wight. So, yes.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
I've been to the Isle of Wight, actually. It's lovely there.
It's quite picturesque. I love those little isles.
The weather's good. Yeah. Do you know, I came back with such a brilliant tan one year when we went there with my family.
Oh, wow.
We went into a caravan. We stayed in a caravan for a week and went fishing, and I came back darker than when I go to Cyprus. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It was great.
But you know, he actually set up a marquee in tents as well where he had his ceremony. So it wasn't some grand old castle or something. That you set up marquees. It's also very cute. I love it. I just
sounds very simple.
I know, because sometimes you can have all the money in the world, but you just sometimes the simple things are just the kind of most endearing. I don't know. I'll let you know when it's my turn.
All right.
Yes. Well, I have to say, some lovely news I found. A woman battling cancer in hospital received an unexpected visit from her dog.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, because she had been, this is happening in the States, in Iowa. She had gone to a hospital called the Mercy Medical Center in Iowa, and her dog was a miniature schnauzer. And I think it's her and her brother, the husband and wife will look after two dogs. So there's Sissy, it's the female dog, and her brother Barney. But when the husband had gone home for the night after visiting his wife from the hospital, when he looked, he found out, oh, Sissy was gone. He's thinking, what's happening here? Where has she gone to? Because he opened the door to let her out to kind of go pee or something. But she never came back in. Only to discover that she had gone 20 blocks over to where the hospital was. And he got a call from the hospital saying, we found the dog, because the dog has a collar and everything. So with the address. And so the hospital actually called the woman's husband to say, you've got a dog here. Because they actually saw on CCTV, the dog came in through the entrance, the main doors, and he kind of looked and followed and sniffed all the way down to the woman's room.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely found her. So the dog apparently sometimes used to go with them when she went on for her checkups.
Oh, right, so he knew the way.
So he knew where, kind of, had an idea, but it was actually quite endearing, because the woman woke up and was like, oh, that's my dog.
Hello.
It was actually quite endearing, I have to say. Right, I have this lovely video to play. I think this would highlight my next story. So if we can cue this very, very, I have to say, genius way of getting a date. Let's see.
If you think there are way too many profiles on every online dating site, you're not alone, even though you are. Hi, I'm Brandon Scott Wolf, founder of DateBrandonScottWolf.com, the #1 online dating site for Brandon Scott Wolf. But Who is Brandon Scott Wolf? Great question. I'm a college-educated 25-year-old bartender who lives in New York City, and I'm looking for a girlfriend who's easygoing, honest, and someone who can make me laugh. For more information about me, read my profile. It's the only one on the site. Go on, read it. Please pause the video, read my bio, and then press play to resume. I'm glad you read my bio and pressed play to resume. Now that you know that my perfect date includes talking about the movie we just saw while sharing a piece of pie at a diner, all you have to do is submit a recent photo of yourself and take a free online personality test. The questions are fun, simple, and fun, and will give me the opportunity to learn a little bit more about you. If I like the answers you provided, then I will personally ask you out on a date. If that goes well, expect hand-holding, homemade pasta dinners, and having someone who actually listens. So sign up today and join the only online dating network that I trust. DateBrandonScottWolf.com.
I have to say, that was genius.
Did he get any dates?
DateBrandonScottWolf.com is the #1 dating site if you want to date Brandon Scott Wolf. He created a dating site just for himself. So, this is hilarious. I have to say, you know that you're going to get 100% success rate if you just literally want to date him. And he ends up picking, so he has a choice really. It's not a case of I will get refused, because everybody who's gone on that profile obviously wants to date him. Mm-hmm. So what he's done, he's 25 years old, he's from New York, and he said he tried a lot of online dating sites and he got fed up of just not getting the right kind of, he starts to think, oh, this is just too much hard work. So he thought he'd set up his own website and literally put on there everything about himself.
And how many dates does he have?
So far, he's had over 45 requests on his. So I think it's a case of him picking, because even on the individual, he says it like, you can carry out a personality test as well. So you see if we get on, so he has a number of things, even on the profile, because there's a few clips that I managed to get off the profile. He talks about how he likes fishing. Is it fishing or something? How he likes to talk about a movie you've just watched. So he likes intelligent conversation.
You look like you've gone into this quite deeply, Excel. Were you one of those 45?
Well, yeah, that would be telling. But I think he was quite of a genius. I have to say, it was quite a genius way of getting a date.
Doing that now, aren't they?
Well, this is it. But no, I don't think I will be doing that. Thanks. Well,
there's a reason here, isn't there?
I know there's a certain. Don't get me giggling. Don't get me giggling today, Chrissy. See what she does to me, viewers. Right. Well, I suppose I had to find a scandal of the week to keep up with tradition.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, this time it's a couple that made couple scandal of the week, really, because they attempted to stage a bogus wedding for immigration purposes. Oh. Naughty people. And you know how they were.
Do you have a photo of them?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're
indeed.
going to name and shame them in a minute.
But do you know how we found out that it was a bogus wedding? The groom forgot the bride's name.
Oh, shame.
Kind of helps for you to know who you're marrying, love. But it's a Pakistani man who's 28, Zubair Khan, and a Hungarian 33-year-old Beata Zilagi. Hope I said that right. They were detained minutes before the sham ceremony because they were exposed, because the man had to make a phone call to the marriage fixer to remind him what the bride's name was just before the ceremony. And so the registrar was like, some dodgy is going on here. Here they are, very naughty.
Oh dear. So
they were detained on the spot, and this happened at the Hull Registry Office last October. So the man's been jailed for 20 months and the woman's been jailed for 17 months. They both admitted to conspiracy to facilitate a breach of immigration law. So very, very naughty indeed. Do you have time for some more?
One more.
Okay, one.
That's it. No, you got 1 minute. Can you get?
I've got 1 minute. No, I can't rush it.
All right. Well, let's go to a break then, because you're going to tell us more later. Hopefully, if we have time for you, because we've got a bit of a packed show today.
Oh, I know.
But save a good one for us, just in case. Yeah.
I shall.
All right. Thank you, my darling. Well, do stay tuned, because after the break we'll be previewing the fashion and makeup trends from the spring-summer catwalk from our fashion journalist and stylist Cynthia Liza Gregoire and our makeup expert and artist Theresa Maegan Gregoire. I think I'm saying that correctly, aren't I? Yes. See you after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, everyone. So now it's time to talk to Megan.
Hi, Chrissy.
About makeup trends.
Yes.
Hello.
So, hi, Chrissy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Good. I'm excited to talk about spring-summer 2015 makeup trends. So there was lots of things that were going on. One of the things is that when there's a season, there's usually a bit of a theme. So we have spring-summer. So I think a theme that really went through all designers, most designers, was the barely there look, where sometimes the models were wearing nothing but just actually concealer to counteract the shadows and such. Very, very minimal. So I would say that would be the most minimal you could get. But with the eyeshadows, they did have a lot of purples, which is why I chose purple eyeshadow for you today, Chrissy, just to bring a little spring summer into our looks today. And I think the thing that I found the most extreme was there was designers such as Givenchy and Alexander McQueen that actually had the models all bleach their eyebrows. So as you could probably see, there's not a lot of trends that these designers would make, I guess, to actually transform onto the street look. So I mean, in terms of bleaching your brows, maybe that is something that you would like to do for spring, summer. But sometimes there's things that are just generally left for the catwalk.
Okay.
It was amazing. And I'm just going to show my first slide, which we have a few looks. So in the top of the left-hand model there, you can see she's got the purple hue. So it's kind of a taupey purple. It's really beautiful. We got the barely there makeup in the upper right corner. And we do have, as I have today, a plummy. So Dolce & Gabbana really had that nice plummy lip. And I have Ellie's Fa 406 on in the plummy red. So I do love this look.
That's nice.
And they did have the red lip, which is always something that is popular in the catwalk for some looks. Was there a certain hue of red? No, it was from the orange reds, the blood reds, the blue reds, and so very classic look. We have the bold eyeliners, so the graphic eyeliners. So we had designers even taking bits of material, just vibrant material, and actually pasting it
Really?
a strip. Yes,
Oh,
it looked amazing. So they would actually, instead of having a bright yellow liner, they would actually have material that they'd cut out and
wow.
pasted. Very crafty eyebrows that were all decorated in earrings, rings, just to have that impact. It's really something to actually be at the shows and see, because it is just a performance, a story, a feel, a mood. But I think that a lot of the times in spring, summer, you know, there's something that really just, it's something about a minimalistic look in the fresh kind of summer when it's nicer out, that you don't want to kind of have that caked on look. So that nice dewy fresh look, just counteracting, you know, the shadows of your skin and really getting that dewy look. We have on Cynthia, which you can see is the bold.
Hello, Cynthia.
Hi.
You're right.
We have the bold underliner there. If you could just look at that, it was basically one of my favorite looks that I wanted to demonstrate with the liner at the bottom. She just looks so radical. I love it. It's very, very important that if you don't like a black liner, or if it's too much for you, play around, because a subtle gray could have a striking look. But there was definitely not a lot of winged cat eyes or anything like that. So I'm just going to touch a little bit on my hair, and how hair was for the spring, summer. I have the come out of the shower type wet look, which all you have to do really is wet your hair down and put that product back and pin the side so that it actually stays this way. So it's not like it's just combed and it stayed this way. You actually have to pin the little bits, and the wave may fool you, but the wave actually did have to do with me tonging waves into my hair. It didn't just magically appear when I came out of the shower and put all this product in that these beautiful waves came. So, you know, what might seem like a little bit simple, I want to try that. You know, I see, you know, Kendall Jenner, the model, you know, look, it takes... I
think it really suits you. It's nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
I thought I'd give it a try with the Dolce & Gabbana lip and just mix it up a bit. So not just sort of, and that's the thing, is you can take all of these things and you can take what favorite things that kind of catch your eye or that you would like to try and make them your own. So it's really great. Every season you'll see in the looks and different creative aspects of the designers that the makeup artist really just bring to life with their creations. So one of the things is that some of them even have masks that they had, so the minimalistic makeup and just a mask that they created to have those lines and edges. So it's quite good. But yeah, so that was it. That's my update, and I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much,
You're
my
very
darling.
welcome.
Thank you. All right, so now it's time to go over to Cynthia. She's going to be telling us about fashion trends.
That was a hard act to follow now. All right. Right, well, we're just going to talk about Spring Summer 15 clothing and the new styles that are appearing on the high street. And of course, this comes from all of the catwalk shows that we've seen for Spring Summer 15. So if you want to get the magazines right now have all the different looks from the catwalk, you can see, like Megan was explaining, the different trends and such that will happen for the new season. So I'll just go through mine, Chrissy's, and Megan's looks, and we're just going to pick out a few trends that are trending right now on the high street. With myself, I've put myself in a sort of an androgynous monochrome jumpsuit. Monochrome is just one of those trends that will always be around. It's very timeless from year to year, season to season. It's easy, it's black and white, and this season you can actually dress up your monochrome with a bit of, we've got 70s trending right now, so that means lots of fringe. So this leather jacket here with the fringe on it, you can just throw that over top and it instantly transforms the outfit.
Look, Cynthia. You look amazing in that, really
Cool.
good.
So I'm ready for evening look.
Yeah.
We'll talk about yours, Chrissy, here. Chrissy's got a few trends going on here for Spring Summer 15. The first I'll point out is the color white. A lot of designers were using white in their collections, and we've traded in the denim jeans for white denim jeans. We've traded the black stilettos for nude stilettos. And Chrissy is wearing a kimono, which trended last season and is still very much on this season. So we've got this lovely fringe again, like I talked about, this boho look. We've got the animal references. It's springtime. We've got this lovely, greenish yellow color. Time for the bright colors again. So
I feel summery.
Already, hey? It's already that time. Yeah. With my sister here, we've got Vivienne Westwood's newest collection. And whereas last season it was all about the asymmetrical cuts, right now it's more about the asymmetrical placements of the pattern. So you can see that Viv's put these diagonal stripes throughout, or patterning. We've got the lovely gathering here, the draping around the waist. Just a really elegant day dress from Vivienne Westwood. Chrissy, we'll just go to the rail for the rest of the time here.
Okay.
And what's the first thing that you see when you look at the rail?
I absolutely love this one. I think this is gorgeous. I would so wear that.
So colorful, right? Spring and summer is all about color. This one's by American Apparel. We've got the, the Mondrian sort of blocking and just the different colors. Do you see how it's a bit see-through? You could play around with the vest that you put underneath.
It's really nice, that is.
Would look great with jeans, denim as well. This one here, we've got navy. Now, navy striping is going to be something you're going to see a lot of, very Jean-Paul Gaultier. This one is done by Ganni, and you can pair that lovely with some red accessories, maybe a red hairband, red high heels, red neck scarf. Lots of color for spring. We've got Paul and Joe with this awesome heart design. It's a little bit of looks like a play suit. It's actually a short dress. Every spring, summer, you're going to see British florals. It's just a recurring trend. And just flowers, right? Yeah. Flowers, spring, garden, that kind of thing. Another trend we're going to see lots of is denim. So I have this denim mini skirt here. We've got the distressed look still big. Do you like that look with the ripped in the jeans?
I like the distressed look, but not when it's completely ripped through.
Yes, this one's not. Or yes, it is. Never mind. But it's ripped at a place that would be appropriate, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Here we have that 70s look again. You can pair that with the denim, so you have two trends. This is very lovely. What makes this very, 70s or boho is you see the detailing there, the holes coming through the fabric. So that one's done by Hunky Dory. And it's just really feminine sort of, shape to that as well.
It's lovely.
Right. A couple more items. We've got just this green is actually a color that I'm seeing lots of on the high street.
One of my favorite colors actually for clothing.
Notice the length of the skirt as well. 70s, it's got midi length, they call it. And look at the print, florals, right? Flowers. And if for something a little bit different, you could try all white. And this is really a trend that we're seeing. A lot of the designers, Roberto Cavalli did it, Dolce & Gabbana, they use this sort of like crinoline overlay, and it just really gives sort of, a very romantic feeling and a flowy feeling.
That's one of yours, isn't it? Tell me the truth.
This one is mine. I bought that at a vintage sale. And then if you really want to be bold, you've seen this already, Chrissy, this one here. But we've got, again, florals, we've got white, we've got it 70s with this angel sleeve here. I mean, look for these sort of combos of these trends on the high street.
Really nice.
Footwear, I'm just going to talk about really quick if I can, and that is the platform. So platforms are back, as well as with your denim. Try not to go skinny. Maybe try the boot leg or a flare leg, and don't be afraid to wear those platforms.
Okay, and the good thing is they're comfortable too, aren't they? The platforms.
These are really, they provide a lot of support.
Yeah,
so.
brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. And we'll see you again next time. All right, I don't know which my camera is again. Is it that one? Okay. So, guys, don't go away, because after the break, we're going to be speaking about inner healing, something that's very important for everyone. So don't go away.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, everyone. So now it's time to talk about inner healing in just a moment, because first we're going to take a look at a fitness tip with Jane Rafter.
Hi everyone, Jane here with your fitness tips. Okay, so today I've got my hand weights with me, a girl's best friend, not just for the boys. Girls should be working with free weights as well. Really good for getting some nice muscle tone in the body and also strength. I'm going to show you a couple of things today to target your shoulders, your deltoid muscles. So I'm going to talk about posture. Let's pull the abs in, keep the knees soft, tuck the bottom underneath. We're going to keep really still in the body, and we're going to do an upright row. I'm just going to hold this so you can see. Elbows are slightly higher than the weights. The weights are at the chest line, not up at the neck, guys, and the elbows don't sag. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how that looks when you get it moving. So you lift and lower. Perhaps just slightly draw the elbows back, targeting the back of the shoulder a little bit, what we call the rear deltoid, the muscle here. And you breathe out to lift, in to lower. Now I've got here 4 kilograms each. You might want to start with a lighter weight to begin with and build up, but don't be afraid of going a little bit heavier and getting used to it, because the light weights won't really make a difference, all right? So there's another couple of things I want to show you. A front raise, where you just float the arms up to shoulder height, like this, without lifting the shoulders. So you got to keep the shoulders down. And a side raise, slight bend in the elbows, lifting to shoulder height again, keeping stability in the core. So you've got your upright row, front raise and side raise. 3 lovely exercises to tone up and strengthen your shoulders. Okay guys, see you soon.
Thank you very much, Jane. So now it's time to say hello to my lovely friend, very close friend, Moti Bernadino, who you've seen several times before because she's one of my closest friends, and you've seen her on a few videos and things, haven't we?
Yep, and it's good to be back. Always good to be on the show.
So Moti, we're going to speak about something that's very serious, but I'd like to talk about the root of why you really didn't love yourself for a number of years. Now, first of all, you are the daughter of the legendary Steve Beko.
That's right.
Can you tell the viewers who he is in case they don't know?
My dad was Steve Beko. He was an anti-apartheid activist. And so he founded a movement called the Black Consciousness Movement. And what the movement did was challenge the apartheid system at the time and empower Black people so that they could believe that they were just as good as any other race, and actually got them to, in a non-violent way, challenge the system. And yeah.
Which was, now, a film was made about him as well, and his part was played by Denzel Washington. How does that feel, having your dad?
I brag all the time. I'm like, yeah, who has Denzel Washington play your father on film? Yeah, I was privileged enough to have that experience. It was actually wonderful for me because he died when I was 4 months, so I didn't know anything about him at all. I grew up without him. I missed growing up with him. So having to watch the film helped me to sort of understand the work that he did, the struggles that he went through to found his to start his movement, and why he's so dearly loved by so many people.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what kind of things did you go through in South Africa?
Yeah, you know, I grew up while apartheid was still legal. So,
do you have many memories of when it was all separated? Yeah,
I do. And it happened in my early childhood, but it was so strong. It was so strong that it kind of got stuck to my memory. It's not something that, you know, it wasn't far removed from me. Luckily, I caught it towards the end, so I got to see the transition. I got to experience the transition, but I did get a bit of the struggles that Black people faced. Can you describe
some of the things that you saw?
I mean, racial slurs, just being segregated and having an area that's completely white dominated, an area that's Black, and being told that, you know, this is the area that you belong to, this is where you're going to stay, this is where you're going to live. We didn't have the liberty to live wherever we wanted to live. Even if we could afford better places, we were kind of like very segregated, and the areas that Black people got to live in were very poorly, they were not very structured. The schooling system was very poor. So I sort of, the first, in high school, not high school, but primary school, I went to a school that was predominantly Black, and the education level did not compare.
Right.
So everything about the apartheid system was meant to make Black people inferior. So they were given inferior education so that they wouldn't be able to compete in jobs and in university with other races. Yeah, so it was unfortunate, very.
Now, you said you obviously witnessed the way everything changed. So did you then go to a mixed school after that?
I did. It was actually the government. I think when I started, the government was still apartheid governed, but my school was private. It was a private school, so it was a non-governmental school. So they could pretty much do or accept anyone that they wanted into the school. And my group was the first of the first black children that were accepted into the school.
Really?
So we were kind of like an experiment. I think the country was transitioning, and people could tell that, you know, apartheid was going to end. There were talks going on of Mandela coming out of prison. So the mentality was starting to shift a little bit. And so that's my school, which was a German school. It was a German school. It was private, open spaces to Black children to be able to come. So
do you remember the first day?
I do.
What was that like? Were people staring at you?
You've just said it. It was people staring. So I kind of felt like I'm walking into. I kind of felt like an animal in a zoo, actually. Hello. I mean, you walk in. The message, although it was not said, but the message was, who are these people and where did they come from? Literally, the stairs.
How were you feeling?
I was raised to be very confident as a kid, so I was very confident, but at the same time, you can tell that, this is not natural. This is not natural. I'm not fitting in, and I'm very good at making small talk and getting to know people. But there was just a barrier that was really, really hard to break, and it kind of felt like an interview. Actually, I remember we had, kids coming to us asking all these questions. So who are you? Why are you coming into our school? Well, all these questions thrown at us. And it was hard because there was like a unit that had already formed. Everybody knew that the thing about our school was that it was a school that started from kindergarten and went all the way to high school. So everybody that was in high school knew each other from kindergarten. Yeah. So we were just joining them while they were at high school level, but they had known each other their whole lives.
Did you get treated badly, Moti?
I did. Verbally, horrible things being said, like I said, I was brought up to believe in myself and to believe that, you can do it, you're well, you're an intelligent girl. So to be brought up that way and come into the school and all of a sudden be looked at as an outcast, even be called names like, you black monkey, or, horrible names, and you have your parents insulted by people. You're not good for anything, you're not worth anything. You're just gonna be you're gonna get this education and you're actually gonna waste it, because all you're good at, all you're worthy of is to work in someone's house and be a cleaner. So you're just taking space from people who can actually use this education, because what are you going to do with it? You're going to be a maid in someone's house.
Oh my God.
So that message did not match the message that I was getting at home, which was, even from my dad's example and my dad's literature, which was believe in yourself. So that for me felt abusive, because it was very different.
Definitely.
It was different from what I was hearing, and it stood out. It stood out horribly for me, because it was the first time that I had heard such a negative message directed at myself. So to be told that I was not going to be I wasn't worth anything, and and to come into a school, not have people to play with, when the school dances. Tell me, which girl does not like to be asked to the school dance? When they're Valentine's Day, it's like nobody likes to date you, nobody wants to send you. So it just was a horrible message. It just made me feel like I'm really not good enough.
Moti, you, I love the way you've spoken about everything. We're going to go to a quick break, but in a sense, you kind of thought this stuff hadn't affected you because of, all the stuff that was instilled as a child. But then you found out later on, as an adult, that there were certain things of apartheid system that were still in you, wasn't there? All right, we'll find out after this break.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, everyone. So now it's time to hear the rest of Moti's story. So we've spoken about what it was like for you, Moti, in the apartheid system, and then when that ended, how you went to a white school, predominantly white school, and the taunts that you were experiencing there.
Right.
Now, you grew up, you moved to the UK, you got married, living a happy life.
Yeah.
But then one day you realized that actually some of that was still in you, and you didn't love yourself like you thought you did. Can you tell us about that?
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I wasn't expecting it, because I had completely thought, you know what, I'm strong. This is how I would describe myself. I'm strong. What happened didn't affect me. It wasn't my fault. I was comfortable with what happened, because I'm kind of like, I'm clear on who I am. That's what I thought. But then one day something happened, which was unfortunate, but it brought about an understanding that later on helped me. Because I was with a bunch of friends, and we were having a pretty good time, relaxed. It was meant to be a happy time. And one of them said something to me. I honestly can't remember the details of what they said, but I know that I felt like what she said was an injustice. Like, you shouldn't have said that. That's not right. And I became so angry at her, and I kind of like, you know, very intimidating in how I handled the situation. I mean, a situation that could have just, you know, been squashed and handled pretty much easily. I was very intimidating towards her. And she like popped her eyes out like this, and I remember seeing my friends scared, kind of like, uh-oh, what's she gonna do? And that made me realize about my temper, and it made me realize that, you know what, as much as I believe that I'm strong, I could identify, after taking some time and really thinking about it, I could identify a lot of behaviors that I had that were negative, that came on because of that, because I hadn't really dealt with what had happened at school. I had just, you know, swept it under the rug, forgotten it, but I really hadn't confronted it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I hadn't forgotten it, definitely not, and I hadn't confronted it and dealt with it. I just left it, like kind of left it untouched, left it to the side, moved on. And it affected me.
It's very important what you're saying, Moti, because sometimes there's certain ways that we might behave and react to things, and even like people around us, like, what is her problem? Yeah. What's going on? Why is she reacting that way? And even ourselves, you might think, oh my God, why did I just react that way? Yeah. You should ask that question. Don't just kind of like just sweep it under the carpet and think, oh, it's just one of those things, I was having a bad day. Because if you're starting to see a pattern, there's something behind that behavior. You can't just assume it's nothing, because you don't just react to certain ways in certain ways because for nothing. There's a root behind that, as you discovered there was. Yeah,
and not only with my temper, but kind of like a need for approval all the time. It was, you know, I could never say no to anyone, because I was always doing the same thing that I was doing at high school, trying to gain someone's approval, kind of like, hello, notice me, I'm not this bad person. So you know, I'm really, love me, can you love me please? I was like still seeking not even the approval of my peers, but really the approval of the kids back at high school in anything that I did. So it was still affecting me. I was very dependent on other people accepting me to feel good about myself, which I had not realized. I had not realized that about myself. Yeah. How
did you turn it around then, Moti?
You know, it kind of a reflection that made me. It was how do you say, a turnaround moment. I was talking to someone. And when I was talking to that person, I was listening to her talk about herself, right? And I was thinking, oh gosh, she's so negative about how she talks about herself. At that point, had not even internalized anything. And she was saying, and I stopped and I said, but look, you're saying all these things about you. Would you, for example, you would never come to a friend and say, oh, look, you're so horrible. Like, you're very stupid. You'd never say that to your friend. You're so just like I don't know, you're worth nothing, you're worthless. You don't say these things to your friends. Why do you say them to yourself? And as I was talking to her, kind of like a film in my mind played about every single thing that I do, that I tell myself, that I say about myself, you know, how I see myself, everything played up in me. And I realized, wow, you know, I take care of so many relationships. I take care of the relationship between me and my husband. I take care of the relationships between my friends, so much so that some of these answers were coming because I was seeking to not intimidate my friends. I was seeking because to have a better relationship with my friends. So I do so much, but the most important relationship in my life, which is my relationship with myself, I don't really take care of, and that's where everything begins.
That's a very powerful statement, because I think that is the most important relationship that you have, isn't it, with yourself? Because, like you said, you can be looking after all other relationships in your life and think you're doing okay, but you can still be miserable because the one with yourself isn't good. That's really powerful. And in that relationship, for example, I mean, you're going to be with yourself for the rest of your life. You can't escape from it. You can escape from your husband for 5 minutes, even a second. From friends, you can escape, but you can't escape from yourself. So that needs to be a very strong relationship, because then it starts to affect the relationships of others. And once I defined that about me, that's where my inner healing
started. It didn't happen immediately, but that's where it started, because then I started fixing these things with fixing my own relationship with myself. It started with how I talk to myself. Like I demand from myself that the same respect that I would have for you, I demand that I have for myself. Good. The same, the same way that I would encourage you when you start a new project, like, come on, Chris, you can do it. I demand that I do that for myself as well. So everything that I am ready to do for others, I'm also ready to do for myself.
That's excellent.
And it's been great. Yeah.
Now, Moti, you've actually followed in your father's footsteps in the sense of now you're a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
And you're involved in some weekly seminars that actually help women to get that inner healing, because this is a type of healing that you went through.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about those seminars?
Yeah. These seminars began mainly because we realized that women are warriors. Women are always, working hard, dealing with a lot of things, but very rarely do we take time to take care of ourselves. I mean, at work, we're working hard to prove ourselves because, you have to do twice as well in order to gain the recognition of your peers. A woman, when she goes through a divorce, she has no time to deal with how that divorce affects her if she has children, because she's thinking of her children, making it, that situation lighter for her kids. So she's always thinking, women are always thinking about other people. I think we're natural carers. And the reason we started these meetings exclusively for women was that, first of all, with this realization that we as women need to do better with the relationship with ourselves. We need to take time to fix this relationship because everything hinges on it. So we need to be strong within ourselves. We tend to push things aside. When a partner cheats on you, we tend to push that aside. Someone hurt you, you push it aside because you've got to push on, you've got to move forward. There's no time to deal with it. So we're kind of forcing ourselves, the members who attend our meetings, to take that time to work on themselves and to heal inside.
And you're seeing great results, aren't you, already?
We're seeing, wonderful results. People, kind of the same way that I had done, doing, coming to realizations about actions that they're taking, things that they're doing lately that started way back. We get people saying, "Oh my God, I remember my mom." Cause I remember there was one of our group members talking about a relationship that she had with her mom, that and she realized that it all started in her childhood. She had been a rebellious teenager and she couldn't understand why. And because she started doing this work on herself as well, she realized that it actually began from something small that her mom did. She cried out for help during the night because she was having an asthmatic attack, and her mom didn't show up. Her mom said to her dad, you go and take care of your child because I can't go there. And because she heard her mom refuse to come and help her at that time when she was desperately in need of help, she heard her refuse. And so it affected her entire relationship.
There's a root to
there was a root, and she's completely healed because of these meetings. Yeah,
brilliant. That's excellent.
Moved on.
Well, Moti, I wish I had more time to talk, but we have run out of
so
time. But guys, if you want information about these seminars that Moti is involved with, you can visit our website, chrissybshow.tv, and all the information is there. Moti, thank you so much for sharing that.
It was a pleasure.
Brilliant, thank you.
A pleasure.
All right, and we'll go for a cup of tea afterwards.
Yes.
Don't do that with all my guests. Anyway, all right, guys, I hope you've had a really good show with us today. And if you want more information, as I said, you can visit the website, chrissybshow.tv. And you can also email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Bye for now.